straight line graphs. Okay, so with straight line graphs, you always need coordinate points. This just tells you where the point, okay, will go on the grid. Now, when you talk about coordinate points, we are talking about two numbers that are inside a bracket. Okay, the number on the left side is your x. This is your x coordinate point. Okay, and the number on the right side will be your y coordinate point. Okay, now you can never interchange this. X always stays here, y always stays here. So when you look at two numbers, okay, x is always on the left side and the y coordinate is always on the right side. So let's plot points. Okay, now when we plot points, we plot it on an axis. Okay, so we have two axes. The first one is the x-axis, and this is the most familiar line we have because we use it when we use a number line. Okay, so in the middle we always have 0, and always remember that when we go to the left, we are talking about negative numbers, okay, or negative integers. Going to the right, we're talking about positive numbers or integers. Okay, so let's number this. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all positive, while on the other side, the left side, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so please remember that negative signs go this way, positive signs go to the right. Okay, but when we graph, we are now looking at two axes. Okay, we have the x-axis and we also have the y-axis. Now the difference is the y-axis goes up and down, while the x-axis goes left and right. And where the x-axis and the y-axis meets, okay, this is called the origin, and the designated number is 0. Okay, now the difference between x and y, in y, in y, now the difference between x and y and the y-axis, okay, in the y-axis, the positive numbers are the numbers that are going up. Okay, so this is the positive, and going down, those are the negative numbers. Okay, positive and negative. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, while going down would be negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Another thing you have to remember about graphs, okay, when you have two axes that intersect, then you end up with 4 quadrants because the space is divided into 4. Okay, so this is the first quadrant. Okay, this is the second quadrant, third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. Okay, when you're asked to give the quadrant, it's just asking you where your coordinate points are. If your coordinate points are here, then that means that this coordinate point is in the first quadrant, or quadrant 1. Okay? If your coordinate point is here, then it's in quadrant 2. If it's here, that's quadrant 3. If it's here, that's quadrant 4. However, if the point is on the line, okay, such as this one, it is not on any quadrant. Okay, it is on an axis. Okay, for example, if the point is here, it's not in any quadrant, it is on an axis, because look, it's right in between. You can't say if it's 1 or 2. Okay, so let's make a graph. So I'm drawing the y-axis, and this is the x-axis. Okay, now let's number it. Now remember, going to the right, those are the positive numbers. Going to the left are the negative numbers. Okay, think of it as like a direction thing. Positive numbers go to the right, negative numbers go to the left. Okay, now for the y, as you remember, the positive numbers go up and the negative numbers go down. -3, -4, -5. Now let's say a coordinate point is given to you. Okay, A is let's say 2 and 5. Now remember, always the number to the left will be on your x coordinate, and the number on the right will be on the y coordinate. Okay, so A is 2 and 5. So let's look for 2 on the x-axis. Positive 2. If there is no sign in front of the number, that's positive. Okay, so here's positive 2. Let's just put a dotted line there. Okay, and y is a 5. It's a positive 5, so it's up here. Okay, now do you see where those lines intersect? Okay, those lines intersect. That is where you're going to put your coordinate point. Okay, and then we are going to name that point A, because see, A, because that is the name of these two coordinate points. Okay, so where would 0 be? X or y? Always remember, the number to the left is on the x-axis. Now 0 belongs neither to the x nor y, it's just in the center, so that means we start off here, and then the y-axis is what? 2. So that's over here. So all we need to do is to put the point, okay, on the 2, because x is 0. So let's label that B. Okay, now let's do one more. Okay, now where is -1? Does that belong to the x-axis or the y-axis? Of course the x-axis, because it is on the left side. So since it's negative, we now look at the negative side of the x-axis. So this is 1. So let's just put our dotted lines for -1. And y-axis is what? -3. So where will your coordinate point be? Okay, where the lines intersect. So this is C. Okay? So that's what we call straight line graph and coordinate points. Okay? Any questions? Ask me tomorrow or when you see me. Bye-bye.